Hey, hey.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'd like to welcome y'all to our video today.
Yep. God-Ordained
Yes, this
Union.
is Terrence and Jill, God-Ordained Union. And for
Yes.
those of you who've never heard of us, please, go back and look at our first 5 videos to learn who we are, how we got started, and how we evolved to today.
Yep. You got to go all the way back because this is
Yes,
over 300 videos we have
yes,
on here. So,
yes,
yep. So if you're new to this channel, we are somewhat newlyweds, a little
yeah,
over 200, 2 years,
yeah,
200, a little over 2 years.
yes,
Our stories that we did not settle.
yes.
We were content in our single season, but we desired marriage and we believed God that we would get it, and we were content if we did not.
Right.
But we are here to encourage and inspire.
Yes, our vision is to help support and create and increase kingdom marriage.
Yes, yes. And so if we can do our part of encouraging and inspiring you and reminding you what
Yes,
God's word said, because you know what? We wasn't really, I mean, of course we would believe, we were believers back then, but as far as really not knowing that God desires marriage for us and
yes,
he created
yes,
us to be a
yes,
couple in
yes,
a couple in partnership, I should say. And so with that
yes.
being said, like I wish there was a us
Mhm.
in our single
Which
season.
is how, actually, that's how this got started.
Yeah.
Us wishing that there was people or someone that would could have guided us through the process of,
Encouraged us
yes, yeah,
and let
absolutely,
us know that the person is coming. Like there was like so we saw a need for this channel. And so we're here to encourage you
yes,
in your single season. If you desire to be married, that person is out there.
yes,
God created a suitable mate
just for you,
just for you.
yes,
And if you desire it and you put it out there, it's
mhm,
just a matter of time. It's just a matter, the person has already been created.
yes,
And so continue to watch this channel.
absolutely. And
Hmm.
just know that you're not by yourself.
You're not.
There are millions of people seeking, and it doesn't matter what age you are. That's one of the
Hmm.
things we want to share, because within our own story, we did not get married until after 50, the
Yep.
two of us.
And I never
So
had any kids.
yeah, so
So
we're really saying that if you want it, it's out there for you.
it's out
You just
there.
have to be patient. You have to be diligent. You have to be coachable, and you
Hmm.
have to understand that God has that person for you, and He's working it all out in the backgrounds, whether you know it or not.
Yes. The other thing that we, in addition to encouraging, we also, through the Word of God, shed some light on some things that could be blocking you. The
Yes.
person could be right in your vicinity. It could be somebody in your building, in
Mhm.
your workplace, that you
Yes.
just can't see, and they
Hmm.
can't see you because there is a block. So there
Yes.
are a lot of spiritual blocks that cause us to not be able to physically see who
Yes.
is right in front of us, whether it's friendships, whether it's jobs,
Hmm.
whether it's your soulmate. So we, there's some generational patterns, some generational curses,
Yes.
some things that are blocking you.
Yes.
And so this channel is also shedding some light on that. Um, Make sure you subscribe. We go live every Tuesday
Mhm.
evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So to look at the replays from that, go to the live tab and look at the replays. And so yeah, make sure you turn on your notifications so you know when we are on. And so yeah, but Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also follow us on TikTok,
Yes.
Terrence and Jill, a God-Ordained Union, because we're over there. We're
Yes. And
just
that's one of our newer platforms, so we're excited about
yes,
building it.
yes. And so we are over there. You'll see us in basically in real time navigating this thing
Yes.
called relationship. So we're not relationship
Yeah, we
experts
don't give
by
advice on
no,
relationships. No.
no. But we do believe we mastered being single.
Absolutely.
And so yeah, so that's what we're doing. So we got a
Mhm.
topic today that this
Yes.
came up and man, I think this is one of the things that made us compatible.
Yeah, it doesn't have a lot of traffic. You don't hear a lot of people talking about it,
Yeah, so
but
we're
I
gonna
think it's very important.
yeah. So we're talking about the do not overlook this red flag.
Yes.
You gotta not overlook it, and it rears its hand and head
Mhm.
in the beginning. So if
Yes.
you do not take care of this one,
Yes.
It's going to be ongoing conflict.
Yes.
Yes.
And we say ongoing, we mean like very often, like every weekend.
Yes, ongoing.
Yes.
Yes. And so that red flag is not being compatible and not understanding family
Family
dynamics.
dynamics. Yes.
Ooh.
The great thing about the two of us is that we both are from a large family.
Yes.
And when we say large, we mean large. We mean
Yes.
stuff that there's enough of us that almost every weekend we're celebrating something that somebody in the family either accomplished, they're going through, they broke through, or whatever that case is. So we understand every weekend there might be something going on in my family or in her family. And it's like we both want to be there.
Yes. And it say if I was didn't come from a big family and his family was always doing something, I
Mm-hmm.
probably would have a problem with it.
Yes.
And I've seen this, I see this play out in friends.
Mm-hmm.
I have one girlfriend, she comes from a huge family, and her husband, he comes from, for lack of a better term, a broken family. So even though he has a big family, he does not associate with them. So
Right.
he's distanced himself. So whenever she has things with her family, if he goes, they got to drive two separate cars because he wants to
Mm.
leave early. Or if they go and they drive together and she stays longer than he wants to, maybe an hour longer,
Right.
he has a problem with it. It's just, yeah.
Yeah,
So
and she said broken family, but it also applies if a person's like a single child. They're
yes.
the only child, so they're not used to going to something every weekend where they needed to be there and support their family members. So it serves the same purpose for that as well.
Or even sharing in the successes of your
Yes.
siblings. They don't understand. I know for me personally, one of the things I learned from even with friendships, I learned early on that I have a better friendship with
Mm.
female who have siblings,
Wow.
and especially female who have sisters. I've noticed over the years that if the female does not have a sister, um, it's the yeah it's a weird dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
But also one of the great things, as I said, that we've learned early on is that was one, like I remember our very first conversation,
Mm-hmm.
and you said it's 15 siblings.
Yeah.
And so for us, we grew up, it was 9 siblings in our, and then because we grew up with our first cousins growing up in our household as well as our siblings. And so we understand what it was to share
Yeah.
a bed and share bedrooms and
Mm-hmm.
to share and
And
to
people sleeping on the
it's
floor on the
people sleeping on the
weekends
floor
and
yes,
yeah,
and yes, oh, we understand that whole dynamic. So when you
absolutely.
said it that first day, I was like, wow, like
Yeah.
this man understands
Yeah, we
me.
understand, mom used to get these board games that everybody could play. So we didn't
Yes,
worry about saying, well, you can't play, you
it's
got to
mine,
get the
it's
next
mine,
one.
it's
No, we
mine.
would all play Monopoly, or we would all
Yes,
play something that
yes, where
that
everybody,
was
what
going to,
group could play.
everybody is sitting there for hours. We're all on the floor at that
Hmm.
table playing this particular game.
Hmm. So the other thing about the family dynamics, if you are close to a parent and they're not,
Mm-hmm.
be careful. You better look at in the beginning.
Yes.
Yeah, if he has a problem with his mama, or on the flip side, if
Mm.
he's a mama's boy, no, you do not marry the family, but yes, you do. And if you got a
Yes, you do.
problem,
Yeah.
it's going to continue to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so it calls for a lot of um, not being selfish, but it calls for some consideration on both parts. And so you got to know the balance. I know when we first got married, the very first year, because we come from two big
Mm-hmm.
families, we made a decision that we were going to have Thanksgiving with just the two of us.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and that was a big decision because
Right.
we both getting the text, Thanksgiving gonna be here, Thanksgiving
Yeah.
gonna be there, Thanksgiving gonna be here. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so we, so it, yeah, so
But we took that fall for that first year, because again, we're a new relationship, we're a new family, so we wanted to try to start setting some
New
new
traditions.
traditions and some new memories for our own family. And
Yes.
we needed to be able to do some things together so we can enjoy each other. But even now, we already know that we're going to be visiting one or the other, and I mean,
Yes.
each year may be different.
It may be different, but it comes with a compromise. It
Right.
comes with consideration. It comes with some communication that we have to talk about.
And
Because
I'm gonna
yeah.
tell you what's even more exciting to me is the fact that after our marriage and our families got to meet, just
Mm,
hearing like her niece having a conversation with her saying that she's actually going to reach out to my niece because they're going to get together, or
yes.
different family members
Or
have
yeah, or
become
my niece
friends.
with our
Yeah,
with your daughter,
with my daughter.
my
And so
stepdaughter, my
it's
bonus
like,
daughter.
just the fact that we're seeing relationships that are
Build
built actually
outside.
outside of us. They don't need us there to communicate. And
Mm-hmm.
they're having this thing where everybody's getting comfortable and enjoying each other and forming their
Mm-hmm.
own friendships and relationships. And it's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and that's one of the main um that's one of the main things you want to consider at your wedding, is to create an environment where both families can blend together, and can develop some type
Right.
of good rapport. You definitely want to try to aim for that. But you have to be considerate with, family dynamics. Not to say that it won't work, but
Right.
if he's single, I mean, if he comes from a if he's an only child, or if she's an only child, and either one of you come from big families, it may be a conflict,
Right.
and you need to take care of it in the beginning and talk about it. The other
Right.
thing is that I understand why. I don't bash people who say they want a woman who does not have children, or a woman might say, I want a man that does not have children. On the surface, it seems selfish, but they're telling you in the beginning, it's going
Right.
to be a problem for me.
Right.
And so you got to really
Yeah.
consider that.
There's some
Like,
issues that I haven't overcome yet that
right,
may be an issue
right,
for us on this particular topic. And
right,
I'm giving you a heads up
right,
right now
right.
that we need to figure something out.
Yep. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, it was something else I was going to say, but yeah. So that is that. If somebody is backing off from you, say if you're a woman and you have kids, he is backing off from you. Take that as a good thing, like, because he's telling you up front that
Right.
this is going to be a problem for me, and it might not be your person, or it could be you just gotta. I grew up with a step parent, and it was some give and take there. It was some
Mhm.
struggle in the beginning, but now my step dad is my dad.
I call
Like,
him Pop.
yeah, yeah.
So,
So it can work, but it's if you don't, it's a red flag in the beginning, and your mission is to turn it green.
right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's your mission. Don't overlook it, and don't, you want to, make sure, you know you take care of that, because
Yeah.
family dynamic, and
And an extension to this is also how that person speaks about their ex.
yes,
If
yes,
you're with the person, and when the ex comes up, if that topic comes up, they are bashing that person all the
yes,
time. You need to, look into why is this person either speaking about his ex, or her ex, and
negative, yeah.
negatively so harshly.
That means
You know,
that's resentment,
there's
that's
yeah,
unforgiveness there.
there may some unresolved issues
Yes,
that you may want to look into if you're going to continue to grow in a relationship with that individual,
yeah,
so you can have a heads up of what to expect moving forward.
yep, because that's a block.
Yeah.
That's a block. You wondering why that guy does not want to move forward with you, or
Mm-hmm.
can't move forward for whatever reason.
Right.
What it probably is because you're holding on to resentment from
Yes.
an ex,
Mm-hmm.
or unforgiveness. So those are blocks. And so yeah, family dynamics and the family composition, and how that person was raised in a family.
Yes.
For instance, like, I mean, you can come from a big family, both of you can come from a big family, but one can come from a big family in the suburbs and one can come from a big family in the hood. And it's two different dynamics. And
Absolutely.
that was one of the things. Not only did we come from a big family, but we both came from the hood. So we could understand some things
Yeah.
that were different than other people could
Absolutely.
understand. And so there was that even connected us even more. Not trauma bonding, because we ain't a product of our environments. So it wasn't we were bonding over
Right.
poverty or anything. It was just we had an understanding. And sometimes when you come from those backgrounds or whatever background, you have an understanding that is, that can help go in the right
Yeah.
direction together.
And it's funny because we both, before we got married, there were opportunities. And shortly after we got married, there was opportunities where we both took each other to the neighborhoods that we grew up
Yes,
in
we did.
and said, yeah, this is where I grew up. This is, where the school was, and this is the
This is
church.
where,
And
this is
yeah, and this
where,
is
this
where
is
my
this.
cousin or somebody still stays.
Uh-huh.
And so we both did that. So we would have an idea of saying, oh wow, yeah, I got this. This
Yeah,
is
this is
this is very
background.
similar and this
This
and
is,
that.
yeah, I could
So,
relate. I
yeah.
could relate to this. I could relate to public housing. I could
Yeah.
we could relate to those,
Yeah.
we could relate to, like, being real transparent. When somebody exterminated their house
Yeah.
or their apartment,
We knew that the whole
the
neighborhood better do it because
whole neighborhood better
all the
do it.
bugs is gonna do is move to
All
the
of
next
them,
apartment.
all them roaches and mice was coming over. So we
So,
could understand and relate to
absolutely.
those dynamics. We had that family dynamic. And so not to say that if you're opposite on opposite, if you're a daddy's girl and your husband, the guy did not grew up in a house with a dad, then you got to talk about it. Like, because they don't understand, like, the relationship will, there's a conflict. Say, for instance, if you're falling on financial hard times and you go run to your dad for money, that's disrespecting him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know that dynamic. And so, and even so, that's, you got to communicate that. Like, so overlooking the red flag of family dynamics and how each other was raised, and their thought process and their mentalities.
It's all about to give you awareness and to give you more information of why things may or may not be happening in the way that you are accustomed to.
Yes.
Because they say if you know more, if you know better, you do better.
You do
so
better.
If you can have more information to help you understand the background behind some things,
yes,
it may help reduce the conflicts that you would be facing and experiencing in the future.
That's right. Yep. So don't overlook that red flag of family dynamics.
Yes.
Do your due diligence. Listen on them first couple of phone calls and them first dates.
Yeah.
And if there's any red flags that's waving, because they will be, you better address it. Because you'll wait till you get married and
thinking that, well, I'm different, it ain't gonna happen to me.
It ain't going right.
Okay.
Or I'm going on our family vacation, because we always do this. Oh, also, that's what I wanted. That was the point I wanted to make before we also understanding family dynamics and friend dynamics. If you're coming from and I see this a lot with women. If you're coming from, if you're going from single to married, single to relationship, and everything you always do with your single girlfriends, when you get in a relationship, that needs to change. And so, and if he
always have boys' night and do
or yes, or always do right, or always going out and doing the boys thing, that you got to communicate that, because that will cause an issue. Him, quote unquote, not wanting you to always doing girls' night is not him being jealous or overbearing. It's just that
like maybe you need to have couples night.
Right. We need to develop new sets of friends and friendships and incorporate more. That's going to incorporate the both of us. And so you got to, so all of that dynamics, them family dynamics, relationship dynamics.
Absolutely.
Take care of it.
Yes.
Be mindful of it. All
right.
Be
proactive.
Be proactive. I was gonna say, before you get married that first year and you want to go on your annual or your monthly family vacation and your husband don't want to go.
Yeah, especially like if you're part of a group, because now you got a lot of groups of friends that will go on a vacation every year together.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you meet somebody, you're building this thing, and then all of a sudden you're saying, well, oh yeah, I'm going to the Bahamas or what such and such, and that person didn't know and
Or
what
don't want to
and
go.
don't want to go, or you didn't invite them to go because he wasn't a part of the clique of girls, or in this
or
case, clique of guys, or
or
whatever that
whatever.
is. So yeah, you need to make sure that you at least get a foundation of where you are working together to overcome
Yes.
these things and talk through these things before they fester into something huge,
Yes, yes, because
or just decide that person might not be the one God has
it
for
might
you.
not be the one. Yeah. So
But either way, be careful.
yeah, be careful and don't fall for uh keeping it separate.
Yes.
My family's my family. He don't like my family. She don't like my family. She don't like my mama. She don't like. That's gonna be an issue. That's gonna be an issue. And let me just leave with saying this: women, if you got an issue with him and his mother's relationship, you're going to either make it work and deal with it, or he not the one. Because one of the things you never want to do is separate a mama from his son, or a daughter from her daddy, or in our case, my husband from his kids. If you can't deal with it and you don't want to make it work, it might
Yeah.
not be for you.
Yeah, because like they say, most people say you're not marrying the family, but you are.
You are.
You are.
You are.
It comes by default.
It comes
You
by
can't
this is
separate the
you
two.
can't. You cannot. And if you want to, that is a
Yeah.
personal issue you need to deal with.
You can put up new boundaries, but you can't separate them.
You can't. You can't. So
So we
all
hope you guys been
right.
blessed. We hope this
Yes.
has been something interesting to make you think, make you ponder about some things a little bit.
Yes.
But at the same token, we hope it helps you get through
Yes.
something that might be coming up as you look to grow and increase your family's dynamics.
Yes. All right. We're praying for you.
Yes.
And
With
with
that
that said,
said, deuces.
deuces.